gaming franchises taking wild risks with their formulas, it's either the boldest strategy of 2025 or the biggest collection of mistakes we've ever seen. Today we're diving into 4 major releases that are completely reimagining how we play our favourite games.
The gaming landscape is shifting so dramatically this May. I mean, who would have thought we'd see FromSoftware making a roguelike?
Let's start with Elden Ring Nightreign, because this might be the most fascinating pivot we've seen in years. FromSoftware isn't just dipping their toes into roguelike territory, they're diving in headfirst with a $39.99 standalone title that completely reimagines their formula.
The way they're handling the progression system is particularly interesting. Instead of losing everything on death like traditional Souls games, you're collecting these relics for permanent upgrades. It's almost like they're saying, "We hear you," to all those players who found their games too punishing.
You know what's really catching my eye? The technical specifications for Limveld. We're looking at a map that's supposedly 3 times larger than any previous FromSoftware level, with procedural generation creating unique layouts for each run, and the removal of fall damage. That's going to completely change how players approach exploration.
Though I have to wonder, with only one map at launch, even with all that procedural generation, how long can it maintain player interest?
Well, looking at the data from similar games like Hades or Dead Cells, a single well-designed environment with enough variables can keep players engaged for hundreds of hours. And with 8 distinct character classes, each with their own progression paths, the replay value could be substantial.
Speaking of dramatic changes, let's talk about how Doom, the Dark Ages, is completely flipping the script on one of gaming's most iconic franchises.
The benchmarks we're seeing from the id Tech 8 engine are absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking consistent 60-plus frames per second at 4K Ultra on an RTX 5090, with some of the most detailed medieval environments ever rendered in a game. But the real story here is how they're fundamentally changing the gameplay loop.
The shift from run and gun to this new parry-focused combat system is huge. Early playtests are showing average engagement times, with each demon lasting nearly triple what they were in previous Doom titles.
And that's exactly what makes this so fascinating. They're not just slapping a medieval skin on Doom, they're completely rethinking how players engage with demons. The 3-part combo system, the shield mechanics, the way you build up charge through successful parries, it's like they've taken the DNA of Dark Souls and spliced it with Doom's intensity.
Though I'm hearing mixed things about those experimental segments, the dragon riding and mech piloting. Some reviewers are saying they feel disconnected from the core experience.
You know what's interesting about that? The lead designer actually addressed this in a recent interview, saying these segments make up less than 10% of the total gameplay time. They're meant to be palate cleansers between the intense combat sequences.
Now, can we talk about Among Us 3D? Because bringing social deduction into first-person perspective is either brilliant or terrifying, maybe both.
The proximity voice chat feature alone is going to create some of the most intense gaming moments of 2025. Imagine hearing footsteps getting closer while you're trying to complete a task and having to decide whether to keep working or hide.
And at just $9.99, with crossplay between VR and PC platforms, they're really positioning this for mass adoption. The early player count projections are suggesting it could be even bigger than the original Among Us boom during the pandemic.